Have you ever looked at a piece of sheet music and just seen a bunch of strange Italian words scattered around? They can seem a little intimidating at first, but they're not. They're actually a secret language. It's how a composer tells the musician exactly how the music is supposed to feel. So today, let's crack that code together.
It's a super common feeling, right? You can play every single note perfectly, but somehow the performance just feels flat. It's kind of like reading a book that has no punctuation. All the words are there, sure, but the emotion, the drama, it's all lost. Well, these musical terms, they're the composer's punctuation, and they turn a black and white sketch into a full-color masterpiece.
I mean, just take a look at this. These aren't just words you have to memorize for a music exam. Nope, they are direct instructions coming straight from the composer's mind right to the musician's hands. They tell you exactly how to play, the speed, the mood, the very soul of the piece.
Okay, so first things first, we've got to set the pace. Before we can even think about adding emotion, we need to know how fast or how slow to go. You see, every single piece of music has a pulse, a kind of heartbeat that musicians call the tempo. Let's dive into how composers get to control it.
Tempo isn't just a single setting for a song. It's alive, it's dynamic. A composer might start you off agieto, so nice and slow, very relaxed. But then, out of nowhere, they can throw in a stringendo, which is like telling the performer to hit the accelerator, to gradually get faster and faster, building up all this excitement and tension. It's really how music breathes.
All right, now for a really cool one, alla breve. You'll often see it as a symbol. It looks like a letter C with a line going right through it. And this one little symbol completely changes the entire rhythmic feel of a piece. Instead of counting 4 steady beats in a measure, you suddenly start feeling it in 2 much faster beats.
Honestly, the best way to think about it is this. Alla breve is basically the musical version of hitting the fast-forward button. It doesn't change the actual notes you're playing, but it totally changes how the rhythm flows, making everything feel way more urgent and driven. So it all comes down to the feeling, really. A standard piece might feel like a steady walk. 1, 2, 3, 4. But with alla breve, that same piece suddenly feels like a brisk jog. 1, 2, 1, 2. It essentially doubles the perceived speed, and you can really feel that pulse quicken.
All right, so we've got our speed locked in. Now it's time to add the personality. This is where the music really gets its character. Is it going to be happy or sad, maybe angry or peaceful? Believe me, the composer has a word for pretty much every mood you can imagine.
You can almost think of these terms as a mood board for the music. A composer might ask for a piece to be played amoroso, which is lovingly, or they could ask for a giocoso, which is super merry and playful. Or maybe they want something triste, for a sad, sorrowful vibe, or even marziale, for a strong, punchy military feel. Each word paints a totally different emotional picture.
So let's look at 2 perfect opposites. On one hand, you have tranquillo. Just saying it sounds calm. It tells the musician to play calmly, to create this wonderful sense of peace. But then you've got agitato, the exact opposite. It means agitated, restless, just full of this nervous energy. You can already imagine how completely different those 2 pieces of music would sound, right?
So, we have our pace and we have our mood. What's left? Well, now it's time for the fine details. Those little finishing touches a performer adds to make a piece truly special. These are the instructions for articulation and expression.
These next terms describe the musical touch. A composer might write pesante, which means heavy, asking for this really powerful, weighted sound. Or they could ask for leggero, which is light and nimble. It's really the difference between an elephant's heavy steps and a ballerina's light ones.
But what if a composer wants one specific note to really stand out from the rest? Well, that's when they use the term marcato. It means emphatic or accented. It's basically the musical equivalent of underlining a word or putting it in bold. It's a little sign that just says, hey, pay attention to this note.
Okay, now this term, rubato, is honestly one of the most beautiful and expressive tools a musician has. It literally means robbed time, and it gives the performer permission to be flexible with the beat, to slow down a little here and speed up a little there, all for emotional effect. And the key here is that it's not about losing time, it's about borrowing it. Just like the quote says, you take a little time from one note to give it to another. Imagine a soaring melody in a piano piece. The pianist might just linger on the highest, most passionate note for a split second longer. That's robbing time. Then they'll subtly catch up over the next few notes, paying it back. It's this beautiful human dance with the rhythm.
And finally,
composers need a way to give directions for repeated sections. Think of prima volta and seconda volta as musical road signs. Prima volta means first time, so you play that ending to first time through. But when you repeat the whole section, you skip that first ending and you jump straight to the seconda volta or the second time ending. It's just a really clever way to create variation.
So, after looking at tempo and mood and all these little finishing touches, we come back to the big question. Why does any of this really matter? Why should we even learn this secret language?
Well, ultimately, it really comes down to this. Music is so much more than just dots on a page. These terms are the bridge that connects the written notes to the actual story the composer wanted to tell. They are the instructions for bringing music to life with passion and drama and beauty.
So, I'll leave you with a little challenge. The next time you listen to your favorite piece of music, I want you to listen really closely. Can you hear the moments where it gets agitated or suddenly feels light and nimble? Can you feel the performer playing with that robbed time? Because now you know the secret language they're speaking.